sponsored by Baja Blast. Don't try the new flavor. It's not bad, but it's got a really weird medicine aftertaste. Kind of sucks. What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to another video at Axe Entertainment. I am your host, Zack Axe, bringing you another edition of WWE's Weekly Awards. This one is for 8/11 to 8/15. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this week in wrestling was really good, but it was also really weird. So it's really weird because I have like nothing to talk about this week. Like, nothing big happened. A lot of tag team matches, first of all. There's a ton of tag team matches. I think Smackdown was all tag team matches, and Raw had quite a few tag team matches. So NXT had a lot of tag team matches too. So like a lot of tag team matches throughout the whole brand, the whole week. I mean, NXT was really good this week. I think Raw and Smackdown were both pretty good. So I'm going to tell you guys it's going to be a shorter week. I think we're only going to do one topic, and that's going to be the speed round. So I'm going to give out 3 awards. We're going to do the speed round, and we give out the last 2 awards, and we'll be done with this week. I wish I had more to talk about, but there's really nothing to make a whole topic about because there's nothing that happened that was that incredible this week. So let's get into it. First up, I'm going to give out female MVP. I feel like I never start with female MVP, so we're going to start with female MVP. Now, for female MVP, it was kind of hard to give out this award because there were so many good movement in the female division through every single show. I don't know why I'm blanking right now, but I'm going to give honorable mention for this award to Roxanne Perez, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, and Lola Vice. But at the end of the day, this award is going to an NXT female in Kalani Jordan. Now, Kalani Jordan's reason for winning this award is really the easiest one to pick out of all of them because they all won their matches, everyone that got the honorable mention, but she pinned a double champion. She not only pinned the NXT Women's Champion, but she also pinned the TNA Knockouts Champion in JC Jane because she holds both the championships. So pinning that champion automatically should get her a title match, which I'm guessing that's what we're going to lead into. Of course, she's going to Masha and Ash by Elegance or Dana Brooke, whatever, for the championship, the TNA championship, but the NXT championship, that should be Kalani Jordan's opportunity right there. After winning this match, she should for sure get the next opportunity. This match was great, so I'm easily going to give this award to Kalani Jordan for this amazing match, and then on top of it, she pins the double champ. That's crazy, so she's easily winning this award. And let's jump right into match of the week real quick. Match of the week, honorable mentions are going to go to Dark State
right up your butt
versus the Fantastic Four is what I'm going to call them because holy crap, that was a stacked team. And then Bronze versus LA and Punk. That was a pretty good match, but it ended in DQ, so I just couldn't give it this award over the match between Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice versus Fatal Influences, Fallon Henley, and JC Jane. I've already talked about it a little bit, but this match was insane. So much chemistry between these 4 women, and it did not end in DQ like I honestly thought it was going to. It ended in Kalani Jordan getting the win over JC Jane, the double champion, and this match was very, very good on NXT. This match was absolutely insane. Like, so much fluent wrestling, so many really good moves from Kalani Jordan, and we already knew how good she was, but now she gets an opportunity hopefully here soon against JC Jane. Fallon Henley looked great. Lola looked great with her. She had some amazing kicks in this match and some amazing tandem offense against the other two. And just this match overall was very fluent, very good between all 4 women. So it's easily winning match of the week. And Kalani Jordan's going to win double winner this week, which I just looked through. There's only been about 3 or 4 double winners in the history of weekly awards, and go ahead and add Kalani Jordan's name to that list. Last award before we get into the speed round, I'm going to go ahead and give out promo of the week. Now, promo of the week's honorable mention I'm going to give to LA versus CM Punk on the microphone to open Monday Night Raw. That was a very good back and forth promo, and it almost won, but kind of the stances made sense that they were talking about, but sometimes it just felt a little weird that they were kind of like in a promo battle but not in a promo battle because they like each other but they don't like each other. And I think if it wasn't for that being a problem, I think this might have had a chance of winning, but it was a little bit weird. But I'm going to give it to a man that's already won this award. I'm pretty sure, did he win it last week? He did not win it last week, but he did win, I think, 2 weeks ago, and that's Drew McIntyre. Now, Drew McIntyre is just going to be winning awards left and right because he's finally getting back into the main event scene. He's finally looking like a threat to the championship, and he came out. No Cody Rhodes to interrupt him this week. Maybe Cody's off filming Street Fighter already, but he came out to further this feud with Cody Rhodes, and I think that was kind of what we were doing. I guess I just now thought about that, put that together, that we were doing that Claymore through the table to write Cody off to go film Street Fighter, and then he'll probably be back in like 2 weeks. So I just put that together in my head right now while recording, so that's pretty cool. I just figured that one out, but Drew McIntyre comes out and cuts a promo on Cody and just his regular stuff. His regular stuff is amazing. Everything, the way Drew talks on the microphone is just like next level. Like, he's so intimidating while also being funny, while also like he has so many different aspects that he incorporates into his promos, and coming out to trash talk Cody, without Cody of course there to further the storyline. I think when Cody comes back, we're going to probably have a couple good promo battles between the two, but Drew McIntyre is going to win this award for his promo on SmackDown towards Cody Rhodes. It is now time for the only topic of the video, and that is the speed round. So let's go ahead and run through it real quick. Alexa Bliss picked up a win over Piper Niven on SmackDown. That match was honestly very boring. Kendall Gray looked great against Alba Fire on NXT. Alba Fire actually picking up a win there over Kendall Gray, but that was actually a pretty underrated, pretty slept-on match between those two, and she looked great. Montez Ford did some Dolph Ziggler moves on SmackDown. I don't know if I'm the only one that saw this, but he did, and I'm not saying they're specifically Dolph Ziggler moves, but he did a Famouser, and right after the Famouser, I'm pretty sure he did the zigzag. So like, that's just two signature moves of Dolph Ziggler doing them back to back. I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't know if it's going to lead to anything. I don't know if it was just an homage, but anyways. LA Knight during his match against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed you could very well see him calling over Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, because he went up to the second rope and he looked at Braun Breaker and he's like, or Bronson Reed I think was on the apron, and he's like, come on, you gotta come over here, and then hit him, and then he looked at Braun Breaker and was like, come on, you gotta come, like he was like, you could hear him talking and you could see him trying to get the match flowing and telling everybody everything, which obviously it happens in wrestling. Everyone talks. It's just funny when you can like blatantly see it or blatantly even hear it. Next week on NXT is going to be insane. I was thinking about making this a separate category, but I guess I didn't. We're going to go Saints versus Troy next week in a rematch. Of course, their other match ended in count out. Very excited for that match. I think the first match was pretty good, and this match could be even better. We have a face-to-face between Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace. They're doing kind of a run-back of the storyline between Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, or even Lay Cool versus who was it Natalia that they were arguing? Who was kind of just the bully storyline, you know, just it seems to be like a recurring storyline you see every like 10 years in WWE, where we have to have a female bullying another female for you used to be fat, you used to be ugly, whatever, and then whatever. But I think this feud could have gone a totally different direction than the bully storyline, but I guess that's Blake Monroe, Mariah May's character. I don't know. Javon Evans is taking on Trick Williams, and that match is going to be pretty insane. I'm sure this match is going to be great, because any match that has Javon Evans in it is instantly amazing. Slowly becoming probably my favorite NXT wrestler right now, if he's not already. And Trick Williams is one of the best in NXT. Yoshiki Inamura versus Josh Briggs will take place next week in a street fight. That's pretty insane. I'm excited for that match. I think the match is going to have some big spots. The Elegance brand is taking on Fatal Influence. Now, I don't know much about the Elegance brand because I don't watch TNA on a regular basis, but I know Fatal Influence is great. And Jasmine Nix is going to get to wrestle, which is crazy because I feel like she never gets to wrestle. I think she's wrestled like once in the past like 2 months. Anyways, that's all for next week. So next week's NXT is looking stacked. I don't know how they're going to fit that in 2 hours, but it's going to be great, and all leading into Heatwave, which I'm really excited for. Joe Hendry showed up on NXT to beat Charlie Dempsey, and that match was very short but very good, very entertaining. And I really don't know where we go with Charlie Dempsey from here now that his group's kind of falling apart. Maybe he kind of has to rebuild himself and gets, you know, kind of maybe even gets rid of Ren Sinclair and then has to slowly rebuild himself. I think would be a pretty good storyline to tell for Charlie Dempsey here, because he's a phenomenal wrestler, and I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon, but I think he's amazing, and he needs to get built up just like we're seeing Tavion and Miles Bourne do. And Joe Hendry picked up a win. Joe Hendry, of course, amazing. Because when I do watch NXT, it's for Joe Hendry, because I believe. Did I say NXT? I meant TNA. And Sami Zayn got moved to SmackDown. Sami Zayn got moved over to SmackDown. He wrestled on Raw, and then we saw him on SmackDown say, hey, I'm on SmackDown. So I guess why do I keep saying SmackDown? I guess they traded LA Knight to Raw for Sami on SmackDown, which I think is a pretty fair trade. Both guys that are main event potential but have yet to claim the top title. So I think this is a very interesting trade, and I'm excited to see where we go with that. But that's the end of the speed round, so let's get right back into the awards. Next award I'm going to give out is Team of the Week. Now, this was a pretty hard award to give out because there were so many tag team matches. So, honorable mentions to the Street Profits, the Bronze, Mellow Don't Miz, LAM Punk, and the team of AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, which is a very funny team because you put their names together. It's AJ Lee. But anyways, I'm going to give Team of the Week to Dark State.
Been on your ass for a while now, right up your butt.
The third NXT people to win an award, of course, we had Kalani Jordan, and then the match of the week go on to an NXT match. So the third award to be won by an NXT whatever. So NXT definitely showing up and showing out. I said they definitely had the best show of the week out of all 3 shows. But they're winning team of the week for beating the team of Obafemi, the NXT champion, the TNA champion Trick Williams, Moose, and Javon Evans. That's like a crazy good 4, and I feel like I knew how the match was going to end. I knew that these 4 are like unbeatable together, but it was going to end with some kind of team fighting within each other, and Dark State was going to pick up the win, and they did. They picked up the win. It was a very good match before all the why I can't think of a word for this. It was a very good match before the team started falling apart on the other side. But of course they played like they were going to be good together. Trick Williams gave them all a hug, and they threw Trick Williams out of the ring at one point onto Dark State, and they were working really good together. And then the end of the match, we saw everybody start hitting each other. We saw Moose spear Obafemi. We saw Obafemi uppercut Javon Evans. And then, of course, Trick Williams rolling out of the ring, and he could have came in to help Javon Evans overcome Dark State, but instead he just sat there and watched them destroy his opponent for next week, which is pretty, that's good build towards the match next week, because Trick just sat there and watched Dark State annihilate Javon Evans. Also a really cool counter I want to mention where they try to throw Javon Evans into their tag finisher, their 4-way tag finisher, and instead they got caught by Oba and Moose, who threw him into a double cutter. That was a very, very good spot. There's a lot of very good spots in this match. I'm not going to run through them all, but that one was probably the coolest spot of this match. And of course, Darkseid's going to pick up this award for disposing of Moose, Moose and Javon Evans, who are both badasses in their own right, and then obviously the NXT champion and TNA champions are on that team too, and they just beat all 4 of them, so Dark State was kind of the easy pick to win team of the week, even though there's a lot of great team wrestling this week. Next award might have been one of the hardest to give out, male MVP. Not a lot of singles male movement at all, I don't think a single male's singles match ended in a decisive winner besides Hendry versus Dempsey, but I'm not going to give Joe Hendry the award. I am going to give him an honorable mention along with Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Jacob Fatu, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes. And let me say real quick, I think this might be the first time ever, and maybe the only time ever, that in weekly awards an honorable mention went to the same people 4 times. LA Knight and CM Punk got an honorable mention for Male of the Week, Match of the Week, Promo of the Week, and Team of the Week. So they got honorable mention 4 times. Didn't win an award this week, but 4 honorable mentions, that's history here at weekly awards. And to be fair, I'm also going to give honorable mention to Sami Zayn, who probably should have won this award because he wrestled twice this week. He did win his match on Smackdown, but his match with Rusev on Raw did get cut short by Sheamus and the MFTs and all that good stuff. So Sami probably should have won this award. But this is like the only time I think I'm ever going to be able to give this award to my guy. The freaking Miz is winning this award. And you can hate it if you want. I don't care. This might be biased, and it is. But if you think about it for a second, Miz is my favorite wrestler of all time. In this day and age, there's not going to be a lot of opportunities for me to give him an award on here because he's not doing much. But he picked up a win, and he got the pin. He pinned freaking Nathan Frazier, one of the hottest tag teams on SmackDown. He did it all by himself, too. He didn't need Mello's Nothing But Net. No, he tagged himself in, Skull Crushing Finale, beat Fraxium pretty much by himself. So Carmelo Hayes looked great in that match, but The Miz came out with the win, so he's getting this award. And like I said, it's biased, but I do want Miz to win an award sometime during this series, so I'm going to give him this one because it's a week where we didn't have a lot of people fighting for this award because not a lot of movement in the singles division, and I'm not even giving the award to a singles guy. I'm going to add this in a tag team. I'm giving it to The Miz, and I don't care what you say. That's it. That's all I got. Probably a short weekly awards. I say this every week, and then it ends up not being a short weekly awards. So I guess we'll have to see. But not a lot to talk about. It was a pretty good week of wrestling. Just not a lot of substance. Just a lot of good wrestling. So I'm okay with that. With losing some substance and replaced for good wrestling, and that's what we got this week. Was a lot of good wrestling. So I'm okay with it. But if you did enjoy, go ahead and leave in the comments. If I gave any award to the wrong people, go ahead and let me know who you would have given it to. I'm sure male MVP, you guys probably would have given to Sami Zayn or somebody else that's not The Miz, but oh well. Go ahead and leave a like while you're down there. Subscribe for me. Ring the bell if you want to be notified whenever I drop a video like this one, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
I had real tough love, I'm bad at this, and I'm bad for this.
Narcissistic tendencies, I don't care about no one else. Narcissistic tendencies, I'm low, so set me on the shelf. Few people ever have my back, yeah, there ain't no doubt about that.
I probably should have given this award to Sami Zayn, but this is one of the few times that I can actually give it to my freaking god. Oh